Good morning. It's January 29th, about 20 minutes after 10 a.m. It's around 20 degrees here at Riverside State Park, Bowl and Pitcher section. I'm actually more towards the equestrian section, but along the Spokane River, and it's pretty nice here in the sun. No breeze, so it's not so bad. This video is about kind of what's been going on with myself, what our plans are, direction our life is taking. And I know some have an idea of some things, and I know some that follow my blog that I do. There's been no post for several months, and there are reasons for that. We needed to figure out what we were going to do and what was going to happen. There's quite a few unknowns. Bear with me on this video. I just use my phone, and I don't have that fancy doodad editing program, so I may stammer around some, boo or yay, whichever you want to think, but you get my true thoughts without editing. So, well, let's go for it. So, most know I've been dealing with some medical issues, severe joint pains and stuff like that for quite some time. I've also been dealing with PTSD through service, military that I did quite some years ago, and for that it took many years. It was before I even knew that that's what I was dealing with, and then a few years after that to even accept it. Some people get embarrassed by it. I myself was, and thinking what the hell's wrong with me, but talking to other veterans really helped, and started getting some things going. The medical issues have been going on. I've been tested for all kinds of things. They know I have a degenerative rheumatoid type arthritis. It's not absolutely 100% diagnosed, but we're getting somewhere on that. Well, it was about June last year in 24 that while I was at work, and although my boss and boss's boss did everything they could to try to make things easier for me and less stressful, in the end, looking back, it was just too much. I had too many other things going on, and different stresses and things like that hit me hard, and I was at work and had to go to the emergency room because I had a minor heart attack. Stayed the night in the hospital in Spokane, and then was cleared the next day after a heart stress, but they just said it was a heart incident. And then about a month later, I had what now looking back was kind of a nervous breakdown, anxiety attack, whichever you want to call it. And then I had a lot of physical things going on. I couldn't hardly walk. I woke up in just severe pain in my back. No explanation whatsoever. Just woke up. Didn't do anything hard the day before, the day before that. So I was going through physical therapy. Just couldn't handle it. I tried to go to work, couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it. So I was out for quite a while, and going on short-term and then long-term disability and therapy, and seeing a bunch of doctors, tons of different tests, MRIs, bone scans, all kinds of stuff you can imagine, tons of blood draws, and they were thinking maybe I had MS, and after several tests in a few months, I was cleared of that, which I'm very grateful for. So what was going on? Well, I still don't really know. Even to this day, they're not quite sure. I do have a nerve conductivity test coming up in February, about 3 more weeks or so from now, and it's taken 6 months to get into that appointment. Ridiculous. There's quite a few things that hinge on the results of that. I still have, no feeling in my feet up to my knees, and fingers going numb all the time, and just different weird things. But hopefully that test will show something, go a direction. Now, I am on infusions now, and I've had 3 infusions, I believe it is, and for my joint pain, and while my joints still really hurt, quite bad some days, the swelling has gone way down. This infusion is doing the best that they found so far. I've tried many different medicines, and nothing really worked. Actually, one did work, but, it was killing my liver. It was damaging my liver. So, yeah, that medicine was no good. Kind of need my liver. So I was off that, and now we're trying that, which there's progress on that. Mental side. So as far as the PTSD through the service, I did go through that. I was finally approved. Initially started that in 2018. It was denied. Gave up for quite a few years because it's hard enough to even talk about or deal with. Try to bury it. So I went back and with some help of guidance, and was able to get it approved for PTSD, which I don't know. I guess it's kind of great to have the acknowledgement that yes, you truly are going through that, and now I can go further with that and see about some counseling. And of course, I could have done counseling before, but I don't know. I just kind of felt that was it in my head? I didn't think so. My wife could tell you that I was definitely dealing with stuff, especially after years of never telling her, and then finally telling her what happened and what I was dealing with, and yeah, made all sense to her. So that's good news on that front. The stresses and everything else. Well, as most know, I'm not a religious person whatsoever, but I am a spiritual person. And spiritually, outdoors, this kind of thing right here is what I love. I'm out here on this trail by the river to myself. Don't really think about much. Of course, I'm thinking about a lot right now as I'm doing this video, but normally just cruising along, walking, hiking, doing my mountaintop hikes when I can. I've been building up my stamina again. I used to do no problem 10 miles, top the mountains with a pack. Got wiped out with all that stuff going on. So, what are we doing? What is our life going to go forward from here? Well, we know the nature is where I do best. We both work. Got to have money, to get by. We have known for years that we would love to be camp hosts. They know we travel with our truck camper. We went out pretty much every weekend throughout the year when we were both working full time. Well, we decided let's go for it. We got to hang around Spokane to do all these tests, figure out what's going to happen, what are we doing. So we became Washington State Park hosts. And we have Riverside State Park here in Spokane that is a true treasure, and was able to get a host spot and been here since beginning of October. We leave actually tomorrow, so it's been nearly 4 months here, and it's been one of the best things that ever could happen. As a state park host, there's not a lot you got to do. There's just very minimal, which is great for when I'm struggling physically or mentally. And well, I tell you, it wasn't long. 2-3 days after being here as a host, coming out at the campground and hearing the river and looking at the trees and smelling the fresh air, that I relaxed a bunch. It was a lot of, the stress was melting away. Even while I was still in the middle of doing all these testing and still had a bunch of physical issues, the back and pain and all that. There was still a lot of things I couldn't physically do. Walking, it was struggle to walk a mile, even without a pack. It was just wiped out. So we went ahead and stuck with it, and Over time, realized things got better and better and better. And we also realized that, well, yeah, it's a big hit losing that income from me. We can do this. We do save quite a bit of money by hosting. We're not traveling anywhere. We're staying in one spot where we spend a ton of money traveling around every weekend. You know, your fuel cost, and of course, I'd find a brewery or we'd find a winery or whatever, and just spend a lot of money. This life change has changed all that. While we still try to hit the brewery once in a while, we're spending way less money, and we're totally fine with that. There's a lot of things you can cut out. We do have Starlink, so Joanne works remotely out of the camper, and it works great. I'm out and about in the park somewhere while she's working, and I come back to the camper when I want. That's a nice thing again about a host. I can take the breaks whenever I want, take them for how long I want. There's just very minimal things that I had to get done. As things got better, I was able to do more and more in the park. Things that a host doesn't have to do, but it was helping out the park, making the campground look beautiful, helping the park staff here when I could. And that's another thing I do want to mention is the park staff here at the Bowl and Pitcher section has been amazing, absolutely amazing. They are fantastic people. They've been so supportive. I was very upfront with what was happening, what I was going through, and I couldn't ask for a better crew, a better supportive crew. They don't realize how much they truly saved my life, and doing this saved my life. I don't think I was going to make it doing much more, doing what I was doing before. And this life change is what, excuse me, this life change is what has really been the best for me, best for my wife, best for my family. So this is it. This is what we're doing. We're going to be a park hosting. We have a few other parks we're already lined up to go host at. As I mentioned, we do leave here tomorrow. We're going to go down to a little town south of here and for a brew fest that we like going to, and then we go home for the rest of February. Then we head out to Pothole State Park, which is south of Moses Lake, Washington. We'll be there 3 months, and then we got a little bit of June to kind of see whatever we want to do, and then we go up to Mount Spokane to host at the little tiny campground up there for the summer, and then we got a few other places we're going to. We did not sell our house. Our youngest son lives there. He's taking care of the house, which is very helpful for us, and we don't plan on selling the house. Again, the finances, yes, you got to have money. You got to have some money. You got to buy food. You still got to pay, utilities at the house and all that. And with the PTSD approved, that does help my finances through the military disability. There are a couple other things I'm going after now to increase that a little more too. But it's doable. We're making it work. If something catastrophic comes up, it might not let us do this lifestyle, but we got to go for it. You only live once, and people that have seen pictures of me or talked to me lately, they're like, "Wow, we've we've never seen you smile like that before, and or talk like that, and it's just kind of different, And I agree, I am different, different mindset, and I'm so thankful for my wife to make this happen. She was a big part of this movement. I didn't think it could happen, and she said, "We'll make it happen. This is what's going to happen." And yeah, she's one of the best things for me. And so that's kind of what's been going on. I will do a couple blog stories, and I don't know how this video is going to go through YouTube. Kind of combine the two. I'm not into setting up cameras and doing something and going back, get the camera and doing all that stuff. Well, for one, I can't afford the equipment. I don't know. Is that what I want to do? Not really. I kind of don't mind doing some shorter videos now and then and doing some things. Post a lot of pictures, maybe with some links to those videos on my blog, and go from there. But it's going to be a lot of kind of hanging out in the same areas as we're camp hosting for anywhere from 1 to 3 months to, here was 4 months. We came early because the host, had to back out for whatever reason, and they asked if we can come early, and we're local to Riverside, so we're like, sure, like, why not? And I'm glad we did. It got me in this process of healing about a month earlier. So that's what we're doing. We are camp host. I'm basically retired. I am not working at all. Joanne still is. She's got a little bit before she can retire officially. I've got further before I can officially retire, as I'm in my mid-50s. But we're making it work. And I hope someone out there that's kind of going through some of the same situations or might see this and it might help you realize that, you might be able to do it. You just got to really kind of go for it sometimes, and some things might not work, some things might, but I hope it does work for you. So I appreciate you sticking through this video if you lasted this long, and I wish nothing but the good for you. Take care now.